Boom! So good evening, everybody. It is exactly 9:05 on the 5th of September, the week that I turn 40 on Friday, on the 9th of September. I do not know where my life is going, but those people who are here or are watching on the replay who are 40 or older, give me some life advice on what you've learned since hitting 40. I always love to speak to people who have been there, done that. And I'm like, right, what would you tell your 40-year-old self if you were going to go back and have a word, if you're maybe 60 now or something like that? What should I do, basically, with my 40th decade? Because I think 30 to 40 for me has been the best decade of my life. 20 to 30 was pretty rocky, and I mean, it was a transformational decade, but, you know, not for all the right reasons. I was struggling like hell in my acting career, loads of like sort of issues around just like work and jobs and satisfaction and that and stuff like that. But 30 to 40, it's been pretty decent, so I'm hoping 40 to 50 will be fantastic. So good evening, everybody who's here live. Josh is in the house, Nick's here, Verona's here. I can see Alex is here, Natalie is here, Josh is here, David is here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching on the replay, really means the world as well. Thank you so much. If you're listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience, thank you so much for joining us. Got loads to cover tonight. We're going to be talking about what's been going on for Acts on This.tv premium members last week with Showreel Surgery with Chris Stone, who I think is the best showreel producer in the UK. Got a little clip to play out of that for those people who missed that. The full recording of that is in the members area right now. If your showreel is not absolutely banging, he's not landing you work, he's not landing you auditions, he's not getting you meetings with agents, you really need to get involved in these showreel surgeries. You will learn basically 8 strategies that if you put in your reel, you will have so much more impact with it. You get to watch other members' reels from the Acts on This community. Chris breaks them down. Ultimately, you get to see what your competition is sending out to agents and casting directors. Proper cool chat. If you go over to actsonthis.tv, if you're brand new here, you can click on the preview features section. And in fact, I'll play this out now, actually. There's a preview of that showreel surgery. We do it every quarter. It says there, Showreel Surgery Live, Quarter 3, 2022, with top showreel producer Chris Stone. I'll play the little trailer out of that you've missed, but it was 2 hours of showreel talk. And I noticed what's really cool is I've noticed a lot of people who were on that live have now taken those strategies away, implemented them into their reel, and a lot of people have been tweeting me this week with their new reels already. We only did this last Thursday, so it's only Monday now. So people have been like really active over the weekend, and that's what Act On This is all about. It's like, here's some information, go and act on it. You'll also find in the preview section all the other features, probably 250 hours now. We do this every single week. We sit down with the biggest casting directors. That's basically Nicholas Schindler, one of the most successful executive producers in the world, basically. 7 times BAFTA-winning producer. Did a podcast with her recently. Jason Mazza, great actor and producer, talking about raising money for your own features or your own films, whatever projects you want. Had my voiceover agents on the week before that. We've had other great acting agents on over the weeks. Loads of acting agents actually recently. Great actors, Annie Wallace from Hollyoaks, Sally St. Clair, Rob James Collier's, Thomas from Downton Abbey. There's another showreel surgery there. Lee Boardman, what a great actor. We had him on recently. He's just starring in a film called Memory with Liam Neeson. I want to see that because I'm pretty sure that's out of the cinema now. But go over to actsonthis.tv and you can go to the preview section and check out everything you've missed. If you want to get a trial to the site and just check it out for 1 week for just £1, get access to absolutely everything. The link is up on the screen now, actsonthis.tv/trial. The amount of people who get a trial and then tweet or email me going, oh my God, why did I not know about this sooner? Why have I not signed up for this sooner? Is insane. So if you're on the fence and you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe your acting career is just doing your head in because you know you're good enough to be working, but you're just not working. Come and get involved in the community, even just to try it out for a week. I promise you're going to want to stay. So I'll start by playing out and let me know if you were on it. The trailer of the feature with Chris Stone last week, Showreel Surgery. You'll see a little bit of how these work, and if you want to get involved in a future Showreel Surgery, obviously join the community and you might get a chance to do that as well. Here's 2 minutes of what you guys missed if you weren't there. In my opinion, the #1 showreel producer in the acting industry, full stop, Mr. Chris Stone, back in the house. Chris, welcome back. How are you, mate? What's new in the world of reels?
Pick somebody who is the opposite of you. Don't do a scene if you're a 35-year-old blonde woman. Don't do a scene with another 35-year-old blonde woman because you're going to cancel each other out. That's something we're going to discuss later, is making sure you, by watching the scene, you know who that actor is and what they're capable of doing.
I want to watch a new scene of yours.
Do I find your sister more attractive than you? Yes. In every single aspect.
When I make a scene, I'm trying to make it like a self-contained mini movie. So as a scene, it works completely by itself. But then you can take 20, 30, 15 seconds of the very best bits of yourself, if it's her or if it's him, and then that goes into your reel.
372. That's over 30% of the membership submitting their reels for tonight. Please, 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 if you're part of this community and you join these and you're watching this live or you're on the replay, look at your reel and implement these things.
I can figure something out. Come and stay with me. I'll drop you at the station in the morning. I can't possibly ask. I'm asking.
Honest to God, this is such a lovely performance that I'm worried that people won't get to if you open with your first scene. The first scene is you don't need it.
And honestly, I did not realise it had got to the point where I might lose you. Have I?
Have you what?
Lost you.
Because he's working with a strong partner, that's bringing out a great performance, because her performance is really natural as well. So it works. Just play this one for me, but I'd want to see more of this.
I want to see more of this.
This is so subtle.
I think you just look like this absolute twat I used to date a couple of years ago.
It might not necessarily be the very best performance that starts your reel, which is slightly counterintuitive, but it's the best scene that opens your reel. So I think the baby one is the best scene, but the best scene to open the reel is that impactful coming through the door. I just want people to get the very best stuff in the industry, and I want people to fly.
actonthis.tv if you want to get access to the full 2-hour replay with Chris Stone, and also inside the membership you're going to get access, like I say, to 250 hours worth of acting career coaching from the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers and directors, and have I missed anything out? Producers, directors, exec producers, everybody basically in the industry. If you want to get further faster, basically, if you like acting, you like working on TV, get involved in the membership, actonthis.tv. So yeah, that's right in there in the members area for you now, guys, to go and check out. Thanks so much to those people who submitted their reel and allowed us to play them out, because I know that's always a bit nerve-wracking in itself, innit? You're like, right, I'm going to broadcast my reel out to everybody and put it on the shopping board for a bit of critique. But everything that Chris, coaches actors on within that session, it's just super, super valuable. If you implement those 8 simple strategies, I promise you, you're going to start having way more success when it comes to sending your reel out to casting directors and agents and actually getting responses, basically. So let's see what's going down in the comments, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about a follow-up on what I was talking about, not last week because it was the bank holiday, we didn't do one of these, but the week before that, we dived quite heavily into mindset. And I told you about this Bulletproof Actor weekend that I'm going to put together with a friend of mine, a really sort of well-up high-performance mindset coach, Matt Hall. Used to be an actor and then has spent the last sort of 5 years going really, really deep on high-performance, science-backed positive psychology. So he's not just read The Secret and is now going, just manifest what you want. He's gone very deep on actually the science of success, and we're going to run a weekend because it's something that I've been really obsessed with for about the last 15 years. I absolutely would not be here right now if I hadn't got obsessed with it. I probably would still have been working my minimum wage job in the Trafford Centre, in retail, hating my life, trying to chase my acting career, but I got really, really heavily involved in positive psychology, changed my entire life basically on the way that I looked at the world, the way that I viewed success and whether I could have it or not. And I see a lot of actors just really getting stuck in their own way. They're the ones getting in their own way. And the survey that I put out has really highlighted some quite surprising things for me, actually, that I just know we can really help people with. So I'm just going to dive into some comments on Facebook first, see what's going down. Alex has booked his first holiday in 3 years today, so he's hoping on all the auditions come in now, because that's how it always goes. That is so freaking true, Alex. Honestly, mate, I guarantee you're going to get at least 2 self-tapes and probably an in-person audition, and you might get a recall that you have to cancel your holiday for. It is always the way. Verona, thank you so much. Says that's on this has helped me so much. Thanks, Ross. Really appreciate that. That's exactly why we do what we do. So thanks for that. Josh has filmed the day player showreel scene with Chris Stone today. Nice one, mate. It looks like it's going to be a belter. I can't wait to see it. Definitely post that in the Facebook group when it's out, mate. And then I've got some advice here because I said I was turning 40 this week. Kerry said 50s are the best without a doubt. You have not got one more F left to give. It's glorious. I'm getting to that point now, Kerry, just in my like late 30s now. Mark says don't overspend after 40. Make sure you have a good pension. Oh, Mark, I've not even thought about pensions. Honestly, it's one thing as an actor where you're like, I'm basically banking on hitting it big. I just need a windfall. I need a massive film and a few million quid, and then I'll be all right. If not, I'm not quite sure. Nick says, remember, your 20 or 30-year-old self would look at you at 40 and be proud of you. Thanks, Nick. I think a lot of people need to just turn around and look at like how far they've come. So many people in this acting industry on a daily basis email me, and they keep using the phrase like, it's not working. It's not everything I'm doing, nothing's working. And I'm like, well, hang on, and yet in the same sort of like email, they'll tell me that they had an audition recently for, a really decent TV casting director like Daniel Edwards or Andy Pryor or somebody like that. And I'm like, well, it's clearly working. Whatever you're doing is working because you are getting opportunities that not everybody gets. They're really, really high-profile casting directors working on the biggest TV shows out there. So a lot of actors, think that they, I don't know, they're not making progress and they've got nothing to be proud of. Whereas actually, if they just turned around and looked, like you say, Nick, at where they were 10 years ago, when they probably didn't even have a single clue how the industry worked. They didn't have an agent, they didn't have a showreel, they had no idea about the business of the business. And that's why I set off Acts on this, because I didn't think anybody did know about the business of the business, 12 years ago. And still to this day, I still don't think drama schools teach it. It's normally me going into drama schools and doing sessions with them. I just did one for the Met Film School last week because... it's super, super essential. But actors, often, I don't know, don't sort of appreciate themselves and turn around and go, actually, this is how far I've come. Yes, I've got a long way to go, but that is life. That's the process. Matt, good evening. Thanks for being here, mate. Let's see what else is going down. Sarah's here now. Sarah, not seen you in a while. Thanks for being here. And Kerry says, literally had 2 potentially life-changing castings that required availability during my recent holiday. Kerry, it's sod's law. Alex, let's just keep our fingers crossed for your castings, mate. I think it'll it'll happen. Right, so why don't we... let's talk a little bit about this mindset stuff, right, guys? Because like I say, I've been absolutely obsessed with positive psychology and really the science of success for well over a decade now. It absolutely changed my life. I created a mindset program for actors in 2014 called Bulletproof Actor Unstoppable Confidence Infinite Success. And it was a super, super successful program. I took about 250 actors through it, and it did change the game for a lot of people. But since then, Acts on This has kept me so busy that I've not really had a chance to do as much mindset coaching as I would want, because I do think in this industry and in life, mindset is everything. That was the tagline for Bulletproof Actor, mindset is everything, because you can be really talented as an actor. You can have all of the skill in front of a camera, but maybe your head gets in its own way when it comes to auditioning. You walk into a room. I used to see that all the time when I worked in casting. Great actors who I knew would do a great job on set walked into the audition sabotaging themselves straight away, apologizing for things. They might have seen someone in reception who they thought had more profile than them. It's like, oh, there's that person I recognize off Casualty or whatever it would be. And then they'd walk into the room feeling really deflated and like, well, what's the point of me being here? And they just wouldn't, fulfill their potential, basically. So I got massively into positive psychology. And what I did last week is I told you guys I'm going to do a mindset weekend. It was originally going to be in October, but now it's going to be in November because of the results we've got through from this survey. Me and Matt Hall, the mindset coach that I'm teaming up with to bring you this event, sat down for 2 days last week planning the entire 16 hours it will be of coaching plus 4 weeks of follow-up coaching as well. And it's honest to God, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be the one of the best programs I've ever put together. Particularly with Matt's help as well. He's going to be on hand for the 4 weeks of aftercare afterwards. There's going to be a WhatsApp group for you guys to get involved in, a Facebook group for you guys to get involved in. There's roughly only going to be 100 tickets available for this, guys, as well. But what I did to get ready for this was put a survey out in the Facebook group, asking people what are the biggest things that are hurting them when it comes to their mental game, their mindset, their psychology. And I want to share some results with you, and you can just help me, get clarity on these things as well tonight. And we've already sort of planned the course on what we're going to be coaching people on, but maybe there'll be some other stuff that you can sort of throw up for us this evening. So I've had this is just a cross section of just 226 of the responses, and let me just show you some of the results. So we've got there. I mean, that question there: do you feel your current mindset is getting in the way of your acting career success? Like 79.2% are like, yeah, I'm getting in my own way. So 8 out of 10 actors feel that they are getting in their own way. And look at this. Can you see? I don't know how big this is for you guys, but I put here this next question. What do you struggle with most when it comes to your mindset? Tick as many as apply to you. And these were the results that came through. And I was really quite surprised, although not at the same time, the biggest thing that stops, actors, and this is in their own words, getting in their own way when it comes to mindset, is they just don't have confidence in their own ability. That's 69 for those on the audio experience, 69.8%. So 7 out of 10 actors do not have confidence in their own ability. The next thing, and we're going deep on this as well in the program, because this is something that I absolutely love coaching actors on. The next thing that people feel is holding them back is procrastination. So 6 out of 10 actors, 59% actually, 59%. So just short of 6 out of 10 actors feel it's procrastination that is holding them back. And then closely, the other things that screw people up, 5 out of 10 actors, so 50% feel they just have general anxiety. Then it probably goes down to, audition nerves is the next thing. And then we've got lack of motivation, and then just overwhelm in general. So obviously we're going to cover all of these things over that 16 hours of coaching and the 4 weeks of follow-up on the Bulletproof Actor program. But I just thought, we could have a little talk, just at least for 5 minutes tonight, on not having confidence in your own ability, and where, if people are happy to, be vulnerable and share a little bit on here tonight, where that kind of comes from, or what, if you were somebody who filled that questionnaire in for me, and you said that, confidence in your own ability was something that you really struggle with. I'd love to know just a little bit more, if people could kind of expand a little bit. And why is that? Is that because maybe you don't feel you've trained enough? Maybe you don't feel you've trained enough in the area of the industry you want to work in. Maybe the training wasn't good enough. Maybe you, just have doubts over your talents no matter how much you've trained. I don't know. I just think it's really, really interesting. So if anybody's got any sort of expansion on that, then let's just have a little chat for a second. Let me dive back into the comments. Alex is getting new headshots in October. Nice one, Alex. Is Zoom, Kerry? Yeah, so this program, by the way, is going to be all on Zoom. So it's going to be, if anybody did my first TV role fast track program, it was live, but it was all on Zoom. So I like the way, especially with the cost of living crisis now, to get people to travel and pay for a hotel if we did this in person or something like that, it just would be, and I can make tickets to this event a lot cheaper if it's on Zoom as well, because I don't have to hire a room. So it will be it'll be more accessible. I want to make it it'll be the cheapest program I've ever put out because of the cost of living crisis. So first TV or fast track was quite expensive. That was like 750 quid. This will be much, much cheaper than that, because I just want people to just sort the red out, basically. But it will be it'll be game changing. I swear to God, it will be life changing for the people who take it, because the stuff we're going to be coaching is the stuff that changed my life, and the stuff that changed Matt's life, and the stuff that he coaches. Not just actors, but people on every single day that changes their lives. He's a full-time coach. That's what he does. So it will be super, super valuable. But some of the stuff that we're going to talk about, I was getting so excited when we were planning the day. We spent 2 days basically last week planning 8 modules. It's going to be 8 modules. It'll probably be more than 16 hours, to be honest. The days we've tried to sort of plan out as 10 till 6, but I mean, it'll all be recorded for people who can't make parts of it, or maybe you can make the Saturday and you can't make the Sunday, but they might go on longer than that, to be honest with you. I just want to give as much value as possible, because it's this stuff, the mindset stuff, that I swear is the difference between people being successful and miserable. It's like, it really, really is. You can get somebody, like I say, who's so talented, but they just get easily overwhelmed. They procrastinate. They don't know how to set goals within their career that are actually going to motivate them to achieve them. So too many people, just as an example, and you might recognize this in your own life, too many people set, in the acting industry, goals based entirely on outcome. So the goal might be, right, well, the outcome I want is a role on Hollyoaks, for example. And until they have that, they will always feel they are failing their goal. Okay. Now that thing in itself might take months, if not a couple of years, to maybe achieve. Okay. I know I could coach people to get a small role on Hollyoaks in a matter of months, without a doubt. But to get a regular, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to go into action there, in terms of even the writers happening to write something that you'd be suitable for. You're leaving quite a bit to chance there. So having an outcome-based goal that you cannot control because you're not the writer is really a recipe for a miserable acting life. And we want to help actors swap outcome goals for what we call output goals. So wouldn't it be a lot easier to hit goals based on your output, as in what you are putting out into the industry, whether that's emails that you're putting out to casting directors, showreel scenes that you're shooting, shows you're putting on yourself, short films you're shooting yourself, things that you are writing. The output you can control. And then, as long as you are hitting the output, you will feel fulfilled because you will be making progress, even if it's just like, right, these were my goals for this week. I said I would send 5 emails to casting directors out this week. These are my 5, and I've done them all. And I've really put effort into those emails. They're all personalized. I've sent really relevant footage to each person. You can end that week having a little Malibu and Coke on a Friday going, yes, I feel fulfilled that I have satisfied my goals, which were output based. The outcome is none of my business. I can't control who's going to be writing what in these shows, but I can control my output. And that just leads to a far, far more happy life. That's just a tiny little thing that we're going to be talking about over that weekend. But, just teaching people how to set those kind of goals can be game-changing in itself. Let's have a look. Trios here says, Aslan, this is fantastic platform. I'm slowly making my way back in, and now I have an agent. Current mindset is definitely positive. Wicked, man. Wicked. Liz, how you doing? Good evening. Thanks for being here. She says, mindset is bloody everything. It really is. It really, really is. Definitely. And Alex says he emailed Fiona Weir today. What's that, Alex? About Brassic 5, and she replied saying it's Sonia Allen casting this season. Ah, okay. Wicked. Nice work, nice detective work there, Alex. That's always good for people to know. But yeah, so if anybody's got any info, they could sort of like drop in the comments now if you're prepared to do so on why maybe you were one of the nearly 7 out of 10 actors who are like, the thing that I struggle with most when it comes to mindset is the confidence in my own ability. Because I just love to know, like, if it's so prevalent, where that kind of comes from, where that problem might originate. Because a lot of times people just have limiting beliefs over their ability because some dickhead back in the day, at some point, I don't know, like some drama teacher or something at some point put some doubt in somebody's head when they were 10 or 11, and you took that limiting belief that person said about them on as their own, and to this day they really worry. Or maybe you forgot your lines in one audition 12 years ago, and you built a limiting belief around the fact that you can't remember your lines. You're not very good at line learning, so the lack of confidence in your ability comes around memory. And for you, then every audition becomes a memory test, so your performance is shit because you're not focusing on actually giving a performance. You're focusing on don't forget the lines, don't forget the lines, don't forget the lines. And then you get to the end of the audition, you're dead happy you didn't forget the lines, but you put zero emotion into your performance. So maybe that's the thing that's holding people back. But I'd just love to know, if anyone is prepared to share anything around why they might have a lack of belief in their performance, because it's just stuff that we can obviously really help people with on the coaching. And Kerry says, I think all rejections hit hard from time to time. Yeah, but absolutely, and particularly if it's a role that you really, really want in this game. I've had that. I've had 2 really life-changing roles, and I've gotten out of the last 2 in both. I did a screen test for one that I was getting so my hopes so high, and I didn't get either of them. So yeah, when you really, really want it, but then equally there's mindset strategies and things that we can teach people and coach people on, where like rejection that would wipe you out for a week or 2 weeks, and you just feel like shit. We can help you learn strategies where rejection will sting for 5 minutes, and then you'll be back on the horse going, right, what's next? And again, that all comes down to kind of like output as opposed to the outcome. The outcome really is, to a certain extent, something you cannot control, bar putting in a good performance. Whereas your output, you can absolutely control. Alex says, I think confidence in ability may come down to results they're not seeing. Yeah, but then we can't let our current circumstances dictate our belief, and you cannot allow your past to dictate your future, Alex, as well. But yeah, I get that. And this industry can be funny because you can be putting in a load of output and not getting, again, the outcome that you want. But from what I always see, I just see those who are consistent and tenacious. I almost put an acronym together the other day when I was talking about like acting. I was like, ACT, just the word ACT. What does it actually mean? I was like, really, for me, like in the acting industry, it's action. So it's massive action. You have to take massive action. But then it's consistency. And then, that consistency, you have to have tenacity as well. Because if you don't, you can't be consistent because you'll just be smashed by every rejection. You'll be motivated for a week. You'll send out loads of emails. You've maybe got a new showreel scene. Like Josh, you've got a new scene, so you'll be like motivated now. Can't wait for this scene from Chris. Boom, gonna send it out, and you'll be motivated for a week. But then if you don't hear anything back within a week, you might be like, oh fuck, that didn't work. Right, okay, well, what a waste of money that was, or I'm shit, or no one liked it, or blah 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 blah. But I've seen people when we were doing a Rapid Fire Friday call a couple of weeks ago, and I've seen people in our Facebook group and in our First Ever or Fast Track group who were getting a little bit despondent, like I'm putting stuff in, I'm not getting much out. Getting replies and invites to audition from casting directors that they sent out in January. We're now in September. So for me, it's like consistently sowing those seeds all over the industry, and then boom, stuff just pops up. You just don't know, when that's going to be. But if you're only going to consistently sow seeds for 5 days, you've not got much chance of stuff happening long term. So it's just a matter of going, right, what output goals can I set myself so that I can sow these seeds consistently? And you never know when one of them's just going to, a little sapling's just going to sprout up and someone go, oh, do you want to do a self-tape for this? I noticed you sent me this scene like back in February and I filed it away and now I've just got around to watching it and you're perfect for this role that's coming up. You just don't know what's going on. But I think it's really, really interesting when it comes to confidence. I think, yeah, you are right, Alice. I think maybe a lack of confidence can come from a lack of results, I guess. I mean, and also, confidence is a funny one because I think we're lied to by society a lot, and people think that you're born with confidence, and I've always thought that was nonsense. I don't think, anybody's born with confidence at all. I think you can cultivate it authentically without faking it till you make it. I think that's the worst advice. You can give somebody fake it till you make it. You can cultivate confidence, but and there's a little process I take people through. You might have heard me talk about it before. If you imagine, I always say, like, if you imagine you're sat on the edge of an aeroplane, you're going to jump out. Anyone done a skydive here? I've never done it, but I can only imagine what this is like. But basically, you're not going to be confident the first time you go up in a plane with a parachute on. You're not going to be confident that everything's going to go to plan and that you're going to touch down on the ground in one piece. I just don't think anybody can be completely confident in that, right? So that's the acting industry. Basically is going, you can't be confident initially that everything's going to go to plan, you're going to end up with a role. But, to get onto the ground in one piece as a parachutist and hopefully be strapped to somebody initially. But even if you weren't, this would still work. You're going to be sat on the edge of the aeroplane and you're unconfident, okay? But you're going to have to throw yourself out of it at some point, which requires courage. So the first building block of confidence is courage. And in the acting industry, it can be 5 seconds of courage that can literally change your career. It could be the 5-second decision to apply to that casting, the 5-second decision to email that agent, the 5-second decision, hovering over the send button on an email you're sending to a casting director for the first time or whatever it would be. But once you've done it, you've committed. So once you've thrown yourself out of the aeroplane, that's it. You've committed. There's no jumping back up into the aeroplane. Once you've sent the send on that email, you can't get the email back. You can't go, no, I'll send me that back. Or, I mean, like if it was a tweet or something, I suppose you could delete it. But once it's gone, basically. You've committed. And then once you've committed to something, eventually, on the way down, on that journey down, you're going to develop the capability, to do that thing better. And if that's a parachute jump, even if, I guess even if you're thrown out on your own, for the first time, you didn't have an instructor. I mean, you only have a couple of minutes to develop the capability to find that chord. But I'm sure if you pull most things on your body, like on the backpack or whatever you've got, you're going to find where that chord is. It's going to release that parachute. So it's through the courage to throw yourself out and the commitment you develop that capability. And that capability, whether that is, the commitment that you've made sending those emails gets you an audition. The more auditions you have, the more capable you're going to become. And then that's when you become confident. But none of it starts until you have the courage to throw yourself out. So a lot of people, again, in our industry, just sit on the edge of the plane, waiting for someone to push them. And no one's going to do it because people are too focused on their own shit. So you've got to push yourself out. But it's interesting. It is interesting, like, how people can lie to themselves that they're not a confident person when actually, you really can cultivate confidence if you just start taking action. Listen, I think it's more about realizing that that just because you didn't book the job, it doesn't mean you're crap. Absolutely. If you're getting seen, getting tapes and getting recalls and pencils, that's a massive positive, and you have to take it as a positive. It's the only way you can keep at it. 100%. Yeah. Definitely. I always say that. Every no is a step closer to a yes. And again, I've seen so many people, if you're consistent and you're tenacious and you stay in the game, eventually you do get a yes. It just might take 20 no's, 25, 30 no's before you get that yes. But those people who stay in the game long enough and do not give up, if you have talent, you've got to have talent as well. But, if you're getting auditions, you've clearly got talent. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting them in the first place. It is just a matter of, just staying in there. Natalie says, going to have a bloody orchard of saplings at this rate. Yeah. Honestly, Nat, it's just putting stuff out there consistently. It's how I've built Act on This. Imagine if I'd have just initially going, right, I'm going to set up this community and I'm just going to send one tweet out to the world and I hope members join. How many people are going to join if I just send one tweet out going, hi guys, I've got this community where I help actors and I bring great guests on and we sort of all talk about the acting industry and how we have more success within it. If I just sent it out once or one email, I don't know, I might get 2 people signing up and that's not a community. But for me, it's like, right, to sow those seeds, every day I'm posting clips of sessions that we do to Instagram, to Twitter, to Facebook. We've got a Facebook group, Instagram page, Twitter, live broadcast on a Monday night, Facebook page, email list, all of these things. And I'm constantly, I might annoy you guys, but I'm constantly putting stuff out every single day. Probably 8 to 10 pieces of content will go out through written word, spoken word, or video. This broadcast tonight that I'm doing will be repurposed as a podcast and it'll go out on iTunes and Spotify. Shout out to those people who are listening on the podcast version. About 4,000 actors a week listen on the podcast version. Constantly sowing seeds. And there are people on my email list. When someone signs up and gets a membership at Acts on This is quite interesting. I can see how long you guys have been on the email list. I can see what emails I've sent you and what you've interacted with. So if you've opened an email in particular that had a certain subject line and you clicked a certain link, because I wrote some compelling copy in that email that's going to make clicking a link more attractive, I can see all that. And sometimes I can see someone's been on my email list now for 3 years. And they've been receiving in that time, 150 emails from me. I probably send an email out a week at least to non-members of this community. People on this broadcast tonight will probably have received an email from me if you're a non-member saying I was going to do this live Facebook broadcast. I'm sending all that stuff out. And that seed that I sowed or started sowing 3 years ago into that person's head results in them getting a membership to our community. And then hopefully when they see how cool we are and how good it is, then they stay. So, the acting industry is exactly the same. You might have been sending stuff to casting directors for 3 years and they've not took action on your thing yet because you've just not been quite right or it's not quite been the right time for them to bring you in for a certain project or whatever. But yeah, you've got to keep putting stuff out there, to sow those seeds that will turn into those little saplings, that orchard of saplings for you. Confidence is the ability to know that you can do a gig to the best of your ability. And you feel within yourself that you have done it very well, says David. Yeah, having that sort of reassurance in yourself. And for me, that comes through preparation. Again, we're going to talk all about this on this Mindset Weekend, a model that Matt coaches people on around confidence. And preparation is a big key to that. Because it's evidence-based then around confidence. You can actually say, for me, when I sort of liken it to when I started running, and I remember like the first sort of marathon I was doing, like the thought of even a half marathon scared the hell out of me. And then when you reach the half marathon status, which is like 13.1 miles, when you're training for a marathon, you're running 1 mile a week. So the following week, I do 14 miles and then 15 miles and then 16 miles. And on any of those 14, 15, 16 to 20 mile races that I was running, if ever I felt like, oh shit, you're not going to make it or you're feeling really bad, I had evidence to go, well, hang on a minute. No. You did a half marathon last week, so you have got it in you to do it again. Or if I was on mile 17, I'm like, no, you've ran 4 half marathons already, so you can do another one, and then get, just add a mile on or whatever. So evidence through preparation. No, I've done good auditions before. I know I'm capable. I've landed roles before. I know I'm capable, even if they're not TV roles. Evidence is a real key to confidence. Kerry says, I've got no fear about emailing casting directors or agents when I need new rep. I kind of enjoy that part of the industry, making relationships, but it's a frustration of knocking on doors when most are never answered. Yeah, and again, that can come down to consistency, tenacity, and also changing strategy. Going back to the emails that I send out to, my email list, Kerry, I've got 10,000 actors on my email list, and the industry open rates on email now, just across all industries, is roughly 18%. So that means 1,800 people will open that email out of 10,000. So 8,200 people will not open an email that I send out. So in order for me to go, right, well, how do I cover all 10,000? Because it might be a different 8,200 who don't open it. I've got to be consistent, haven't I? And I've got to go, right, well, next time I need to send an email with a different subject line. I need to make the copy within it more compelling. I need to, maybe make it, might need to sell the click more so that I'm like, listen, there's a real reason you need to click this link to go and see a video I put up or whatever. Exactly the same when you're acting. If you're doing something and doors aren't opening, continue to do it in the same way, the doors might never open. So it's like, right, well, what little tweaks can I make without reinventing the wheel? You don't have to, change everything, for example, but it might be for your show reel. When we did this on Showreel Surgery last week, so many reels that we played out on Showreel Surgery were great, like content-wise, but bloody hell, they were in the wrong order. People were opening with the wrong scene in their reel consistently. So a casting director might not get to scene 3 where they were banging. It was a brilliant performance. So it might be like, if doors aren't opening, maybe I just need to open my reel with a different scene. I need to reorder it. I need a new headshot. I need to just maybe write my subject line a little bit differently. I might need to condense my email and make it smaller and shorter so they can read it faster and click my link quicker, because then they go over my spotlight page and they see my stuff quicker, and it's my stuff that's going to sell me rather than my email. So it's strategies around that as well. A lot of actors write one email, copy, paste, feel really great that they send it to 80 people, but it's just not targeted to 79 of them. They might have targeted it to the first one they wrote to. David said, confidence is down to your own good attitude towards what you're doing and determination. Yeah, gratitude and attitude is a big one. It's absolutely huge. Perspective is massive right now. People crying over not getting an acting job, and you just look at what's going on in Ukraine and you're like, why have you got the audacity to cry about anything if you live in the UK right now? I know cost of living is tough. My energy bill's gone up again. And is anyone else not spending the electricity that they are actually paying for in terms of, like, they put my direct debit up. This is off-piste, isn't it? from 90 quid to 178 quid. I'm currently not even spending that 178 quid. And they've gone, nah, mate, you need to put it up to 190 quid now because of our forecasts. But I'm not even hitting what I'm paying now. Where are your forecasts coming from? So yeah, ultimately, yeah, times are tough, but we're not being nuked or shelled. So we've got to be grateful. If it's just an acting job we're not getting right now, perspective and gratitude can really just help you when it comes to mindset. Literally just had a message from my agent telling me I've got a recall for a project. Terry Jade, do you mean literally now whilst we're on this call? Because that's amazing. I love it when that happens. That just shows you live. Shit can still happen at 20 to 10 at night. Let's have a look. Kerry says, I'm teetering again about joining. I know it makes sense. What do you mean, Kerry? What, joining what? What are we joining? Are you joining us on, what are you joining? Let us know. Let's have a look. Alex has had Chandra from Sophie Holland's office open her email the other day from March last year. Mate, I'm telling you, honestly, stuff like this, just these little seeds that people are sowing, you've got to just... It is a mindset game when it comes to sowing the seeds and then just sitting, expecting good things to happen. As long as you are consistently putting stuff out there. For me, I don't stress about stuff anymore. I'm like, I know I'm doing the work, and thus it's inevitable that good things are going to happen to me eventually. And I'm going to keep doing the work. And I've had some good auditions this year. I've not landed any of them. But I'm like, look, I know I'm doing good work, so hopefully I'll be asked to audition again. And I'll get one. I'm doing a lot of voice acting, which is nice at the moment. That's really, really cool. And that's something that I had my voiceover agents on the voiceover gallery recently on actsonthis.tv. That session's still in the members area. Voice acting is definitely something actors in this community need to look at, because there's just an abundance of work out there. I'm doing so many projects now, and they're just so great because that's really fun acting as well. That's just daft voices. I'm doing Pinocchio for the BBC, play a few characters in that. I'm voicing like characters that are like evil seagulls and green wolves and things like that. It's just hilarious. So that's something that people need to look at. But yeah, just expect good things to happen in your life. Kerry says, I recently started my own theatre company. Our first play goes up later this month. I'll be inviting my agent and some casting directors. Amazing. And that's action. That's the action I was talking about before, and then that's an output goal, because you can control that. The outcome of of a casting director coming in and giving you a job, you can't control, but the output and then asking them to come in, that's something you can control. So good on you. I don't know if my internet connection went a bit dodgy then. I got a yellow signal. It's normally green, but hopefully I'm still on and it should still be So be good, guys. I was getting replies to my emails before the email excellence webinar on TV Fast Track. Then after following that and showing more personality, I get replies now. There you go, man. Honestly, not auditions. He's got but replies. He's saying the auditions will come though, Alex. Honestly, mate, they'll come. We just have to wait for roles that you're suitable for, mate. And again, that's something that you can't control. That's an outcome-based goal, not an output goal. But you can control the output you're putting out. People are telling me to cancel my direct debit for the electricity. I can't do it. I don't want to go to prison or whatever. But yeah, it's all getting a bit much, isn't it? These bills. Got my first ever self-tape request from a Spotlight application over the weekend, says Nick. That's amazing, Nick. Well done, mate. Good. Right, so I've still got loads to do, and it's quarter to 10. Right, what I want to talk about tomorrow night. Anyone been watching Ridley on ITV on a Sunday night? It stars Adrian Dunbar and a whole cast of great actors, including this geezer here, Mr. George Bukhari. There's George on the left, Adrian there on the right. George plays a character called Darren Lacken. DC, Darren Lacken. Great show. Great actors. George, really interesting actor, really interesting history, how he got into acting. He's worked on loads of other big shows as well, things like The A Word, Years and Years, Ordinary Lies, loads of good stuff. Now he's in Ridley. He's going to be joining us tomorrow night to talk all about it, basically. Really honest. George is like proper honest, no airs and graces, just like, really good advice. He's an acting coach now as well, like in front of the camera. He does quite a lot of screen acting coaching with people. He's a great actor himself, obviously working in really big stuff. Hopefully, I think he's Adrian Dunbar's best friend now. And I want him to get Adrian on Act on This as well. But 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night, George is going to be joining all Act on This.tv premium members. We're going to be talking all about the jobs that George has done, how he got into the industry, navigating the industry. Also, he's massive on really looking after yourself, both mentally and physically, in between jobs while you're looking for your next job. We're going to be talking about his journey with agents. Just a really, really honest journey of how he's gone. From, like all of us, from not having work to now working on some of the biggest drama, in the UK, and how he's done that organically. So it's going to be a really interesting chat. I've got a little trailer, a little teaser that I'll play out now. But let us know if you're going to join us for this. It will be recorded if you can't make it live, but this is this week's session for all premium members of actonthis.tv. Come and get a trial even for £1 and come and join us on this, actonthis.tv/trial, if you've never had a membership before. If you've had one, you can't get the trial. But if you've not, come and try it out. Actors, it's another week, so of course I've got another invite for you to this week's actonthis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place on Tuesday the 6th of September at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom with this legend here. He's got so many incredible acting credits under his belt. He's starred in shows like The A Word, Years and Years, Ordinary Lies, so many more. He's currently starring opposite Adrian Dunbar in brand new ITV drama Ridley as DC Darren Lacken. It's Mr. George Bukhari in the house. George, it's been a while, mate. What we're going to be talking about on Tuesday night?
A very long while. Definitely not a legend, so we have to take that out.
Oh, okay.
The edit. Sorry. Yeah, good. What I'd like to talk is to speak to some other actors and have a really proactive conversation about what we do in our time off. How do we keep the creative juices flowing? What we can do proactively? How do we keep mentally and physically fit?
Yep.
I'll speak about some of the jobs that I've done and what my processes have been, and seeing if anyone can find some help in when they're playing characters, and the new way of auditioning, which I'm doing exactly the same through self-taping, which I really like because it opens doors, but some people have got some pros and cons about it. I personally like it, but maybe we could have a really proactive conversation about that. And just to meet some really good fellow actors, and we can have a really proactive chat.
I love it. Proactivity is the key to this conversation, folks. If you want to be there, you want to literally, jump on camera and have a one-to-one chat with George, ask any questions you want on pushing your acting career further, faster, auditioning, sign with agents, self-taping, working on set, anything at all, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all future sessions as well. We're here every week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, directors in the game, like literally the best people in TV. George, you've got a little bit of time, bit of pressure on you. I ask every guest this. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
Because I've never done a Zoom chat before.
You've never?
It's just going to be, and it's just going to be really honest.
I love it. Yeah, honesty. He's never done this before. Anything could happen. If you want to see what is going to happen, be there, folks. actonthis.tv/live. The acting secrets no one else is telling you. actonthis.tv/live. If you want to join us tomorrow night, literally get the opportunity to jump on camera, have a little chat with George potentially, and just every single week listen to people who have been in your shoes looking for work at some point in their career and then navigating this industry to the point where they now work regularly on the top stuff, whether an actor, casting director, an agent, a writer, a director, a producer. Got so many great guests coming up. George is this week. Next week, we've got Roland Beckley, BBC casting director, responsible for Casualty, mainly, but also Silent Witness over on the BBC at the moment. I think he's just on a block of that. One of the nicest casting directors you will ever meet in your life. I've got a podcast dropping the week after that with a great director who's currently directing a new BBC show called Matt Holt, an award-winning director. Really, really great chat with him that we did in my kitchen just down there, that will be dropping for members the week after that. And then we've got some wicked guests coming up. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you, but we've got some really, really good people. BAFTA-winning casting directors, BAFTA-winning actors. It's all about the BAFTAs. Yeah, we've got loads of award-winning casting directors and actors coming up on Acts on this as well before Christmas. Just loads of stuff. So, Kerry, yeah, you were saying you're teetering on the edge of joining. Get involved in the mix. There's so much stuff. If I go over to the website and I just dive into the members area, this is the thing, you see. People I don't think people realise that, but when you get stuck into the members area, the amount of content that's in here. If I just log in, let me just log in as myself. It's like Netflix of acting career education, basically. There's just so much in here. You've got the top 5 features here, latest 5 features that we've had. And then there's just so many sessions with just the biggest people. Like Stephen Graham. Sophie Holland's coming on again soon. She's the casting director for The Witcher, also the casting director for You, the Netflix show You. One of my favourite shows on earth. Don't know why I wasn't in season 4 that Sophie cast. But there's just so many, all these features with actors. If you're looking for an agent right now, we've got some of the best agents in both Manchester and London on the site. Every casting director you could possibly imagine, more or less. Whatever you're looking to work on, whether anything from The Crown, to Ted Lasso, to Line of Duty, to Hollyoaks, to Bridgerton, to The Wheel of Time, to Top Boy, just everything, all the serial dramas. Got some incredible directors there. I mean, literally just choose these sessions as and when you want. There's Matt Hall, he's the guy I'm doing the mindset thing with. Did a great webinar with him. And you can watch the video if you want to do it at home, or just listen to the audio. Just whack it as a podcast into your ears. And you've always got, literally, to get through, 300 hours, 250, 300 hours, you've got such a consistent flow of incredible advice from the biggest names of the industry at your fingertips to just listen to, like, anytime you're doing anything. If you want to be inspired and stay motivated, my God, like, for £6 a week, you just don't get this anywhere else. There is just literally no... There's just no other service like it. So, Kerry, come and get involved. What are you doing? Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life. Right, I'm going to start wrapping it up. I've got a couple of other things to talk about. Oh, the Bulletproof actor thing. I've not even spoken about that. Right, so, yeah, the new dates for it. Let me go back over to my web browser, because I want you guys, you're the most proactive people here, because you join me on these Monday nights, or you're listening on the replay, watching on the replay. The waiting list page is up. The new dates are Saturday, November the 26th and Sunday, November the 27th. We're going to do, though, a free mini training where we open up sales of the tickets on the 1st of October. So if you go to actonthis.tv/bulletproof, that's actonthis.tv/bulletproof, go there right now, fill that form in with your name and your email address. You will get on the priority list. And then basically you're going to get a free place at that training on the 1st of October. That's going to be Saturday, the 1st of October. Going to be, I think, 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. in the morning. We're going to be doing a free training, me and Matt. And then we're going to open ticket sales up at the end of that webinar. And literally, I think there's going to be 100 tickets available. That is it. We only want a small group of people. It's going to be a full 2-day weekend event, 16 hours plus. You're also going to get access to an exclusive WhatsApp group with Matt for... a 4-week period, a Facebook group with Matt for a 4-week period where you can ask follow-up questions on anything to do with mindset that you're struggling on. I think Matt's even going to do, this is a little sneaky peek for you, For the first 20 people who get a ticket, Matt's actually going to do a one-to-one Zoom call with you as well to look specifically at a block that you are facing. Matt charges hundreds of pounds for coaching, by the way, and you're going to get that as a free bonus if you get a ticket to this event. You will find out more details on that and pricing and all that sort of stuff closer to the time. We've not figured that out yet, but it's literally going to be the ultimate confidence weekend, mastering your mindset, crushing anxiety, obliterating audition nerves, and ultimately creating the acting career that you deserve, because so many actors deserve a better, a more happy, better bloody life. Like, so many people are just getting in their own way, allowing negativity in the current climate, particularly, to just drag them down, drain them of motivation. So they can't be consistent and put that work out. They have no tenacity because life's punched them in the face. So we're going to help you with that. actsonthis.tv/bulletproof. Go get on the waiting list if you really want to get in on that. actsonthis.tv, Alex/bulletproof. Let me just type it out in the comments for you guys. So if you're here live, you get it. www.actsonthis.tv/bulletproof. Hopefully that's right. Let me have a look in the comments if that's gonna come up. Yep, there you go. So it's in the comments for everybody. actsonthis.tv/bulletproof. Just go and there's no obligation, but just go and put your name and your email address on the list, and you're going to get a free place at that training. Plus, you're going to get the option to buy a ticket literally before anyone else. If we sell all 100 tickets on that free training, it won't even go out publicly. Like, there'll be no email sent to anybody or anything like that. We did that for First TV or Fast Track. And we did have about 500 people show up to that webinar. I think 126 people bought a ticket to that on the first webinar. So the chances are this can be much cheaper as well. This will probably sell out quite quickly. So get on the waiting list if you want to be the first to know, and come and hang out with us for 16 hours basically, and then a full month with Matt. Josh says my birthday is the 25th of November. Someone might buy me a ticket as a present. There will be as well. There's probably I don't know the prices of these, but just for people who are worried, because I get it. I say my electricity bill's gone up sky high. People who are like, oh, I'd love to do it, but, money obviously is going to be difficult. I'm going to try, make this as accessible as possible. I'm going to put a payment plan together as well for people, so you can pay in installments and stuff like that. I just want as many people to get involved in it as possible, and I'm going to try and make the friction to getting involved as little as possible. Because I just think right now it's never really been more important with the current world climate of where you're fed every day negative bullshit all the time. It's like, right, the world's ending, the economy's ending, there's terrorism everywhere, there's awful things happening everywhere. Like, no wonder people are walking around feeling like shit and feeling like they've got no motivation, no drive to do anything, because the media is controlling everybody's psychology. No, people are not taking control of their own psychology. They're allowing the current climate to kind of, do that for them. And I just think, like, more than ever, there's never been a more important time to really take control of your emotions so that they serve you and you stop serving them. Because so many people are walking around serving their emotions. Their emotions are negative and people are serving them. People are like, yeah, okay, I've let you win. I'm going to sit on my sofa all day and do nothing. I have no belief in my own ability as an actor. I've got no motivation to shoot any material. I've got no motivation or drive to send any emails. I don't want to put myself out there. When I get an audition, my anxiety is so bad that I just ruin it. I forget my lines, or I'm perfectly fine until I go in the room, but going in the room, I just can't handle the pressure. And it's all up here. It's all their mental game. It's their mental toughness. It's not their ability or anything like that. It's the difference between those who are working and those who aren't, in a lot of cases right now, is because those who are really believe they could, and those who aren't don't really believe they can. Like, they are telling themselves every day, but it's so hard. They're relying on luck and powerful other people to do it for them, where they actually are way more in control of their career than they think. So it's really important. I would just love as many people as possible to get involved in that weekend, and I just can't wait to get those emails that I used to get when I did the Bulletproof Actor program in 2015, where I'm like, oh my God, like, I've struggled with this for a decade, and now I really have managed to annihilate it. I got a lovely message off Julie Hesmondhouse. She used to play Hayley Cropper in Coronation Street. I got a lovely WhatsApp voice note off her a couple of weeks ago because she listened to a podcast where I was talking about some of these things we're going to be talking about on a podcast. And Julie herself was like, wow, like there was something in her life, I don't know what it was, but something that she, through listening to this podcast, completely changed perspective over and completely changed the way she was looking at it. And she was like, I just can't, her words were like, I just can't believe it. I can't actually believe that it's gone. Whatever that thing was, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but like, it's really powerful, guys. Honestly, it really is powerful. So at sonthis.tv/bulletproof, do get involved. I would love to see you there, and we'll help you. We'll help you take control once and for all. So I've got like literally a minute left, and then we're going to call it a day, guys. I've got a clip. Let me play a clip out actually in the members area, so you guys can be introduced to Matt if you're not already. You don't already know who he is, Matt Hall. In the members area on atsonthis.tv, because I'll play a clip of this out. I'm sure if you scroll all the way down to features with other industry pros, it's right at the bottom of the members area here. This podcast here, it's called Annihilating 5 Big Mindset Problems for Actors with High-Performance Mindset Coach Matt Hall. It's a great podcast that we did, again, in my kitchen. When we do the podcast, we sit down with a brew in my kitchen. Let's have a really honest chat. This is like, how long is this? It's got to be like 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours on 5 big mindset problems that actors are facing. And me and Matt walked through like how we would solve them or how we'd help actors with them. That's in the members area. Go and listen to that if you're struggling this week. That's a great thing at the start of the week to listen to. You'll find it, like I say, in the section that's labelled features with other industry pros. But let me come back on camera and let me just play you to finish a little clip out, a trailer, basically, of some of the stuff we talk about in the in that feature. I'll end actually on that tonight. But let me just see what else is going down on Facebook, and we'll call it a night. But thanks so much to those people listening and watching on the replay. Thanks so much to those people who are here live. It really means the world. I wouldn't obviously be able to do this without you, because I'd have nobody to speak to whatsoever. At sonthis.tv/bulletproof for those people who are asking about the link again. Can't make the training session. It's on a Saturday morning, Joe. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You'll still be able to get access to tickets and stuff if you get on the list. Yeah, anyone who can't make that training, don't worry. Just get on the list anyway, because you'll still get an email with a link to get tickets early. Definitely. And Kerry, it is in the members area. Yeah, so that's the members area I was just showing there on That's on This. And yeah, if you just go in to your members area, and then so That's on This premium membership, scroll all the way down, Kerry, all the way down past the features with agents and actors and casting directors and directors. You got this section, features with other industry pros. So in here you'll find people like producers. You'll find Chris Stone, the showreel producer, all the showreel surgery stuff, anything on mindset. We've got accountants in here, talking about accountancy, headshot photographers, theatre owners, all that sort of stuff. So these are people who don't really fall into the main categories of agents or casting directors or actors. And it's this section here, Annihilating 5 Mindset Problems for Actors with High-Performance Coach, Mindset Coach Matt Hall. Definitely go and watch that. So I will end playing this little clip out, actually. Let me just line it up. I'm sure I've got it somewhere, of Matt. Matt's really cool as well, because the thing about Matt, he's a mindset coach, but he used to be an actor. So he gets it. He really, really gets it. He did some really good jobs, Matt, as well. But then he's always been around entertainment. He actually owns an entertainment company as well, where he manages over 600 bands. They're mostly like tribute acts, but like the biggest tribute acts in the game. So he's a multiple business owner. He's got a lot of experience around sort of the industry in general and performance and creativity and dealing with all the stresses of that. So he's a really, really sound person to help actors when it comes to mindset, because he really gets it. He really gets it. So yeah, and Kerry says, yeah, cheaper than a counsellor. So much cheaper. So many people, when I did Bulletproof Actor back in the day, had been to therapy, counselling, lots of stuff, and they said nothing had helped them but the Bulletproof Actor program, because it was so pragmatic. It was really practical, and it's just no bullshit. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, okay, so tell me about this. And, I think therapy's great. I think everyone should do therapy, but sometimes you need someone also to just hold the mirror up and go, right, you are now fully accountable for your life, fully accountable for the success you have in your life. If bad things have happened to you in the past, that's horrific, and we've all had them to a certain degree, but different, on obviously different scale. But just because they've happened, that past stuff, like I said before, you cannot allow it to dictate your future. And only you can be the person that can create that future that you want. You can't ever rely on a casting director doing it for you, or a director, or your mum, or your dad, or your partner, or your brother, or your sister, or whatever. It's literally down to you. Every decision you have made, this is a wonderful thing to think about. Every decision you have ever made in your life, down to the point where you even clicked a link in an email tonight, or in the Facebook group, or however you found this broadcast, every decision you made, literally down to clicking on this broadcast, has brought you to where you are right now. Literally where you are right now. So you are in control. You probably just don't think you are, but you just need to make quality decisions moving forward, and your life can improve massively, very, very quickly if you start really thinking consciously about the decisions that you are making, and also, you know, around the decisions you are making and how you're looking at the things in your life in the past that you couldn't control, you know, because they're the things that, again, can hold you at ransom, like, for years and years and the rest of your life, basically, if you don't deal with them. So I just love it. I just bloody love it. Right, here's a little clip of me and Matt talking. Go and listen to the full podcast, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night with George Bukhari. It's going to be a great chat with George, talking all about his career. And then next week, Roland Beckley, brilliant casting director. There's never been an Ats on This before as well, so that'll be a great session. atsonthis.tv/trial if you want to get a £1 trial if you've never had a membership before. And if you have and you no longer remember, just come and bloody join again. Got loads of stuff coming up. Would love to have you back in the community. So love to you all. Have an amazing week. Expect good things to happen, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now. Matt Hall, welcome to my kitchen. Matt did an awesome webinar with us in November.
What I love to see is the amount of people that are posting about it and importantly focusing on not just what they took away from the last webinar, but what they're going to implement.
The first one is...
You can't remember, that's why, isn't it? You didn't know their name.
People struggling with email anxiety.
The more that you can handle pressure, judgment, expectation, stress, and ultimately dealing with problems, the more success you can handle.
Patience. People just struggle so much with patience.
What you've got to understand is you cannot control the outcome. You can control it as best as possible by doing everything you can possibly do. But like you said, there's an awful lot out of your control. We have to come back to finding joy in the journey. A happy, content, confident person is an attractive person.
The third point that people were struggling with is self-esteem.
If I've done it before, I can do it again.
Yes.
So if you've been in the acting industry and you've had, you know, some great opportunities, you've been a part of something great, and you know, even if it wasn't paid opportunities, but you know you did a good performance, it doesn't matter how long you've been out there, you've got evidence to support the belief that you can do it.
Imposter Syndrome. What is it to you? Because I think it's actually a really positive thing in my life if I feel it.
It means you're on the path of growth. It means you're on the path of high achievement, of greatness, of excellence. I completely agree. It's a really, really positive place to be.
People being super self-critical of their performance, yet seeing great in everybody else but them.
Self-awareness. If everyone else is great and you think you're shit, is there evidence? And find someone you trust to tell you the truth. Like, does anyone else agree with this opinion? Here is the secret to being a successful actor.
Go on.